Look at somebody next to you and tell them this morning matters, because how you talk to yourself before the world talks to you determines how strong you stand when life starts pulling on you. Every morning, before the phone rings, before the pressure hits, before fear starts whispering, you are already in a conversation. The question is, are you speaking life or are you speaking defeat? Listen to me carefully. You don't lose in life because you're not gifted. You don't fail because you're not capable. You don't fall short because you're not chosen. You struggle because you've been waking up and agreeing with the wrong voice. Some mornings you wake up and tell yourself, I'm tired, I'm behind, I can't do this. And before the day even starts, you've already surrendered your power. But today we are changing the conversation, because if you can learn what to tell yourself every morning, you can shift your mindset, reclaim your confidence, and walk into your purpose with authority. I want to give you 4 powerful things you must speak over your life every single morning, not when you feel strong, but especially when you don't. Let me talk to you for a moment, because there are some people in this room who walked in carrying silent questions about their worth. You smiled on the outside, but on the inside, you've been wondering if life has passed you by, if your mistakes disqualified you, if the doors that closed were proof that you were never meant to walk through them in the first place. But I need you to hear me clearly today. What you've been through did not cancel who you are. What you lost did not erase what was placed inside you. And what walked away from you did not remove the hand of purpose that is still resting on your life. There are seasons when rejection feels louder than calling. You applied and they said no. You trusted and they betrayed you. You showed up and they overlooked you. And if you're not careful, you'll start interpreting resistance as rejection and delay as denial. But just because you weren't chosen by them does not mean you were not chosen at all. Sometimes life will remove you from certain rooms because your destiny cannot be contained by the opinions sitting in them. I need you to understand something powerful. Being chosen is not about popularity. It's not about applause. It's not about being understood. Being chosen is about assignment, and an assignment doesn't expire just because you went through a rough chapter. You didn't stop being chosen when you failed. You didn't stop being chosen when you fell back. You didn't stop being chosen when you got tired. The calling on your life is not fragile. It can survive your doubts, your detours, and even your disappointment. Some of you have been allowing yesterday's mistakes to speak louder than today's opportunity. You wake up replaying what you should have done, what you should have said, who you should have listened to. But I came to remind you that your past is a chapter, not the conclusion. And just because a chapter was painful doesn't mean the story has lost its purpose. The author hasn't stopped writing, and the pen is still in his hand. There are people who rejected you not because you lacked value, but because you carried weight they weren't ready to handle. There are environments that couldn't celebrate you because they were threatened by what you might become. And there are relationships that had to end because they were assigned to your season, not your future. Stop asking why they left and start thanking God that you were protected. When you tell yourself, I am still chosen, you are not denying the pain. You are declaring that the pain did not win. You are saying that the storm did not erase the promise. You are reminding your soul that even in the middle of confusion, purpose is still active. Chosen does not mean untouched. Chosen means trusted with pressure. Chosen means refined through fire. Chosen means developed in places where nobody claps. Some of you feel invisible right now. You're doing the work and nobody sees it. You're praying and nothing seems to change. You're being faithful and still facing resistance. But invisibility is often the training ground of significance. Before you are seen by many, you are shaped in private. Before your name is called publicly, your character is built quietly. So stand up on the inside and say it again. I am still chosen. Chosen even when I'm unsure. Chosen even when I'm tired. Chosen even when the results are slow, because what is meant for you will not pass you. What is assigned to you cannot be taken. And what is planted in you will rise at the right time. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are not done. You are still chosen. Let me slow this down for a moment, because some of you walked in here already defeated in your mind. Before the sun fully came up, you were already telling yourself what you don't have, what you're missing, what you wish you were, and what you think disqualifies you from handling this day. You looked at the size of the challenge and compared it to the strength you think you have, and you concluded that you're underprepared. But I came to interrupt that lie right now. The truth is, if this day showed up, it showed up with you in mind. You didn't wake up by accident. You weren't placed in this moment randomly. And the fact that you are here means you already carry the capacity required to face whatever is waiting on you. You may not feel strong, but strength is not always a feeling. Sometimes it's a decision. Sometimes it's obedience. Sometimes it's simply getting up and saying, I'm still standing. You keep thinking you need more before you move forward. More confidence, more money, more clarity, more support. But growth does not wait for comfort. Purpose does not wait for perfection. If you had everything you wanted, you wouldn't need faith and you wouldn't develop endurance. What you have right now is enough for this moment, even if it's not enough for the destination yet. There are people listening to me who are overwhelmed because you're trying to solve the whole future in one morning. You're worrying about next year while today is still asking for your attention. You're stressing about outcomes when your assignment is obedience. You don't need the strength for the whole journey, just the strength for the next step. And the grace you need always arrives on time, never early and never late. Understand this: resources follow responsibility. Capacity expands with movement. You discover what's in you only when the demand pulls it out. If life didn't stretch you, you would never know how resilient you are. If the pressure didn't come, the power wouldn't rise. What you call lack is often unused potential waiting to be activated. Some of you are praying for the burden to be lifted when the truth is the burden was given to reveal your ability. You're asking for the challenge to disappear, but the challenge is the evidence that you were trusted with this assignment. If it was too heavy for you, it wouldn't have been handed to you. The weight is not there to crush you, it's there to strengthen you. There will be moments today when fear tries to remind you of your limitations. It will whisper about your past, your flaws, and your inconsistencies. But fear is always loud when it senses growth. Fear only speaks when it knows something powerful is about to be born. Don't confuse fear with incapability. Fear is often a sign that you're standing at the edge of expansion. When you say, I have what this day requires, you are not claiming that you know everything. You are declaring that you trust the process. You are choosing to believe that wisdom will meet you when decisions arise, that strength will show up when resistance hits, and that clarity will come when confusion tries to take over. You are not walking alone, and you are not walking empty. So take a breath and release the pressure to be everything all at once. You don't have to impress today. You don't have to conquer everything before sunset. You only have to show up with what you have, knowing that what you have is enough for now. And as you move, as you obey, as you stay present, more will be added. This day is not bigger than you. This moment is not stronger than you. You are equipped, you are capable, and you are covered. You have what this day requires. Let me speak to the part of you that feels anxious when you look at the clock, the calendar, and everybody else's progress. There's a quiet pressure you've been carrying, a feeling that you should be further along by now, that life is moving faster for everyone else while you're standing still. You scroll, you compare, you calculate, and slowly you start believing that something must be wrong with you. But I need to break that thought right now. Growth is not a race, and purpose does not run on someone else's timeline. You've been calling it delay, but heaven calls it development. You've been calling it waiting, but something is being built in you that speed could never produce. If you had arrived early, you would have collapsed under the weight of what you were not yet prepared to carry. There are blessings that look good from a distance, but require maturity to sustain. You are not late. You are being strengthened. Rushing your growth will cost you more than waiting ever will. When you move before you're ready, you step into rooms your character can't maintain. You take on responsibilities your discipline can't support. You receive attention your identity can't handle. And then you blame the opportunity when the truth is the foundation was still under construction. Preparation is protection even when it feels uncomfortable. There are lessons you can only learn slowly. Patience cannot be microwaved. Wisdom cannot be downloaded overnight. Endurance is not built in moments of excitement. It's formed in seasons where nothing seems to be happening. But something is happening. Roots are growing. Strength is settling. Depth is forming. And what grows deep will stand when the storms come. Some of you are frustrated because your progress doesn't look impressive. You're still fixing habits, still learning boundaries, still discovering who you are. But that inner work matters more than public results. Before you can manage influence, you must manage yourself. Before you can lead others, you must learn how to lead your own emotions, your reactions, your discipline. That kind of growth takes time, and time is not your enemy. Stop measuring your life by other people's highlight reels. You don't know what they skipped, what they settled for, or what they're silently struggling to maintain. Fast growth often comes with hidden cracks. Slow growth builds stability. What you are becoming is more important than how fast you arrive. There are doors that will not open for you until you are ready to walk through them with confidence instead of insecurity. There are opportunities waiting for the version of you that has learned restraint, humility, and consistency. And if the door hasn't opened yet, it's not punishment, it's preparation. You're not being denied, you're being developed. When you tell yourself, I will not rush my growth, you are giving yourself permission to heal properly, to learn fully, to mature completely. You are refusing to trade long-term purpose for short-term applause. You are choosing sustainability over speed, and that choice will save you from burnout, regret, and unnecessary pain. Trust the process even when it's quiet. Trust the timing even when it feels slow. You are not stuck. You are being shaped. You are not falling behind. You are being aligned. And when the time comes for you to step into what you've been preparing for, you won't just arrive, you'll last. Your journey is not delayed. It is deliberate. And everything you are becoming is happening right on time. Let me speak to the part of you that feels exhausted before the day even begins. The part of you that wanted to stay in bed, not because you're lazy, but because you're tired of trying, tired of hoping, tired of showing up and wondering if it even makes a difference. Some of you are carrying disappointment so quietly that people think you're strong when you're really just enduring. And I need you to hear this with clarity and compassion. Courage is not the absence of fear, and strength is not the absence of struggle. Strength is choosing to stand even when every reason tells you to sit down. There are days when confidence is nowhere to be found. Days when faith feels fragile and motivation is silent. Days when the version of you that believes feels distant. But life does not wait for you to feel ready. Opportunities don't pause until you feel brave. Healing doesn't begin the moment fear disappears. Most of the time, progress starts when you move while you're still shaking. You've been telling yourself that once you feel better, you'll show up. Once you feel stronger, you'll try again. Once you feel less afraid, you'll speak up. But feelings are unreliable leaders. If you wait for comfort to give you permission, you will stay stuck in potential. Showing up is not about having it all together. Showing up is about refusing to let fear make your decisions for you. There is power in presence. When you show up, you create the opportunity for something to shift. When you show up, you interrupt the cycle of avoidance. When you show up, you tell your future that you're still invested. Even if your emotions are uncertain, you don't have to win today. You don't have to be impressive. You just have to be present. Some of the most important victories don't look dramatic. They look like sending the email you were afraid to write, having the conversation you've been avoiding, taking the step you kept postponing. These moments won't trend, they won't get applause, but they build momentum, and momentum changes everything. There are people who mistake consistency for intensity. They think success belongs to the loud, the fearless, the confident. But the truth is, success often belongs to the one who keeps showing up long after the excitement fades, long after the crowd thins out, long after the results take longer than expected. Faithfulness in small moments accumulates into transformation. When you tell yourself, today I show up anyway, you are not denying how you feel. You are choosing not to be ruled by it. You are acknowledging your fear and stepping forward regardless. You are saying that discouragement does not get the final word. You are declaring that your presence is an act of resistance against giving up. Showing up rewires your identity. Every time you stand when it would be easier to quit, you teach yourself that you can be trusted. You build self-respect. You reinforce resilience. Over time, this quiet discipline becomes confidence, not the kind that shouts, but the kind that stands firm. There will be days when showing up feels pointless, when nothing changes immediately, when effort seems invisible, but consistency works in ways you cannot always see. Seeds grow underground before they ever break the surface. Your faithfulness is doing more than you realize. So don't wait for perfect conditions. Don't wait for perfect energy. Don't wait for perfect confidence. Today, you show up anyway, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the simple decision to keep showing up was the moment everything began to change. Before you leave this place, I want you to understand this one truth. Your morning words become your daily direction. What you declare over yourself sets the tone for how you walk, how you fight, and how you endure. You are chosen. You are equipped. You are growing. And even when you feel uncertain, you will show up anyway. Don't wait for life to announce your worth. Declare it. Don't wait for strength to appear. Step forward and watch it rise. Walk out of here speaking life, standing firm, and believing this: your best days are not behind you. They are responding to your obedience right now.